Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know on the channel, I like to dive into the story of Call of Duty. And since the campaign has launched, we've done a lot of different things. I've given you an explanation for the ending. I've rewritten the entire game. And we've also dove into individual characters. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be diving into all of the Easter eggs that are hidden within the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. And a lot of these are super interesting because a lot of times in Call of Duty, these Easter eggs have to do with other video games, other things from pop culture. One of the famous ones from Treyarch games is Back to the Future. But every single Easter egg we are going to be looking at today has to do with previous Call of Duty games being worked into Modern Warfare 3. And some of these are really, really cool. Now, if you are enjoying my story videos, a couple things that you should know is, first off, I put a video out on my second channel yesterday where we went over my predictions for the Modern Warfare 3 campaign to see what I got right and what I got wrong. That'll be linked down in the description. The other thing is I think I'm going to start working on my videos for individual characters' stories for the Modern Warfare universe. And I have three options as to who I should cover first. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Let me know which one of these you want to see down in the comments. Your options are Captain John Price as kind of the main character of the universe. We have Vladimir Makarov as the main bad guy, or John Soap McTavish. Let me know which character you'd like to see the story for first down in the comments. And if you enjoy these type of story videos, be sure to hit that like button. Without further ado, let's dive into the 16 Easter eggs that I found within Modern Warfare 3. Now, our very first one goes out to the first mission of the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, which is titled Operation 627, in which this is a mission where you go in and rescue a prisoner from inside the Gulag. And of course, as we know, since we played the campaign, that is none other than Vladimir Makarov. Now, when we go in, we can actually see that he is labeled Prisoner 627. And obviously, the name of this is a tip of the hat to none other than Captain Price, because in Modern Warfare 2, there is a mission where you go into the exact same gulag and rescue a prisoner, but this time prisoner number 627 is Captain John Price. Another one on the very first mission, Operation 627, is we run into one of the characters working with Vladimir Makarov, and he goes by the name of Rook. However, this isn't the first time we saw the character Rook. If we once again go back to Modern Warfare 2, and specifically the mission of Enemy of My Enemy, the person driving the vehicle within that mission is actually Rook. The final one on Operation 627 is a line said by Makarov as they escape the prison. As the helicopter comes in to attack, he yells out, "Rain fire."
To the ground. Target acquired. Danger close.
Copy. Rain fire.
Now, you may recognize this because it's actually one of the exact same things Viktor Reznov said as they were escaping Vorkuta.
Set free. Rain fire.
The next thing that we have is a character who Kate Laswell makes contact with. She gets in contact with someone working for Russia who is willing to inform on Makarov and some of his plans. And that is, of course, Yuri. Now, there's two Easter eggs involved with this. The first of which is that his full name, as we find out, is Yuri Volkov. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this, and I probably should do another video about this, but there's another character with the last name Volkov that comes in Black Ops Cold War. His name is Anton Volkov, and once again, he is Russian. So we might have some sort of relation when it comes to that. But another little Easter egg from this section is something that Yuri actually says.
Противник моего оппонента, мой союзник.
I mean, it's in Russian, but he says, the opponent of my opponent is my ally. Now, if you've played the old Call of Duty Modern Warfares, you would know that this is almost identical to the exact same thing in a famous quote from Captain Price from Modern Warfare 2.
Makarov, you ever hear the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Price, one day you're going to find that cuts both ways.
Now, the next few Easter eggs we're going to look at all come from the mission Flashpoint, which is the mission that takes place in Verdansk at the Verdansk Stadium. The very first one happens when you are driving into the stadium while the attack is just starting off. As it turns out, you're driving through this area and you drive past an ambulance, and when you do, you can actually see Makarov unloading himself from that ambulance. If you would have just stopped there, you could have stopped him right then and there. And personally, I think this is one of the coolest Easter eggs out of this entire list. But if we go fast forward to later on in the mission, when we actually end up catching Vladimir Makarov, he is trying to escape in an ambulance. Now, that doesn't seem like a big thing until you realize and go back to the original No Russian mission. Because in No Russian, as you try to escape and Joseph Allen tries to escape with Makarov, as he gets onto an ambulance, Makarov shoots him, and then Makarov continues to escape on an ambulance. almost the exact same ambulance that we see here. We also have another returning character on this mission. He's easiest to see when you first go into the Verdansk stadium, and that is someone by the name of Corporal Burns. Now, this is actually a playable character who you can play as in the original Modern Warfare 3. He goes by the name of Marcus Michael Burns, or Sergeant Burns for short. Now, the next one really has nothing to do with other Call of Duty games, but I just found this interesting, and you probably didn't find this. When you actually first go into the Verdansk stadium, if you kind of go out closer towards the field in the stands, you can find a downed mascot. And when you do, Soap has an interesting reaction to him. Similarly, another thing that you may not have seen is once you actually capture Makarov in this mission, if you actually don't escort him to where you need to go, and even if you turn your back to him, even quickly, this is what ends up happening.
Capturing me. It means that.
Don't take your eyes off Makarov.
Listen!
Now, the final one on this mission takes place at the very end, when you actually extract Makarov. When you're getting on the helicopter, an interesting thing is that the two people that come out are General Shepard and Ghost. Now, Ghost is wearing his OG skin with the mask and sunglasses, but this is quite the opposite of what we saw in the original Modern Warfare 2 in the mission Loose Ends, where Ghost is trying to get on the helicopter, and, well, as we know, it doesn't go so well for Ghost. Now, this next Easter egg is probably the biggest on the list because I think it has the most implications moving forward. However, in the mission payload, when you go in to find the missiles that Makarov is trying to use, you go inside of a bunker, and when you do, you find a bunch of various different Soviet flags and things along those lines, but those aren't the only flags that you actually find. You find a bunch of flags with the Perseus insignia on them. Now, of course, Perseus is from Black Ops Cold War. He's kind of this secret organization run by an individual man, however, an organization working together, and they kind of run the show behind the scenes within the Soviet Union. Now, seeing this in this game hints to the fact that they might actually be making a return, which I actually predicted last year with saying Makarov, I think, is a part of Perseus, if not Perseus himself. But there are also several other implications throughout this game that support that idea, and I'm going to do a separate video altogether on that. So if you want to see that type of video, be sure to hit that like button, because this isn't the only reference to Perseus throughout the game. Moving on to another mission called High Rise. This takes place in Russia, and as we go through this mission, there is Russian graffiti written all over the walls. However, there is this blue one that you can see here, and I don't speak Russian, but apparently what this one says is 50,000 people used to live here, now it's a ghost town.
Look at this place. 50,000 people used to live in the city. Now it's a ghost town. Never seen anything like it.
Now, not only is this said in the mission all gillied up, it's also said when you boot up the game in Call of Duty 4. So this is one of the most famous lines ever in Call of Duty. Speaking of lines that people say, in the Gora Dam mission, if you wait too long at the top of the dam, this is what Soap has to say.
Breaks over, LT. Let's go.
Which, if we go back to the very first mission of Modern Warfare 2 called Cliffhanger, this is what he has to say to Roach.
Breaks over, Roach. Let's go.
And finally, one that I'm sure most of you saw in the mission Trojan Horse, as you were hiding from the hacker trying to listen in on her conversation, there is a dog that you can go over and pet. And only once you do pet that doggo, it is revealed that this is none other than Riley. Now, if you don't know, Riley is the dog from Call of Duty Ghosts. Way back in the day, this was the dog that you play alongside, play as, and of course, is a fan favorite character in Call of Duty. So that is it. Those are all the Easter eggs from the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. If I missed any or you found some other ones, feel free to let me know down in the comments. But if you enjoy these type of videos, you like the story behind them, that kind of thing, be sure to hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace out.
We are